Hey guys, how you doing? This is JP Saricolia coming to you once again with episode number 100. We made it. Episode 100 of this podcast. And definitely I'm very happy. I'm very excited for today and, for what is to come. And today I want to be a bit more personal than I have ever been. I want to just get you pretty much more, I would say, closer to my heart. I would like to share my heart. As you know, if you have followed this podcast from the beginning, or my channel, my YouTube channel, I was doing some numbers, going back, and I started the podcast. My first podcast was in October of last year, October 11. So it's been over 7 months since I started this podcast. I never expected to be this much of work, or for this to be able to really be a big part of this channel or what I do in social media. It has become something that I really enjoy doing, something that I feel like I'm very eager to produce, something that really excites me. It's where I can express myself more than I ever did before when I was doing reviews, book reviews, statue reviews, all that stuff that I did in the past. None of that has been able to really pretty much, I don't know, I would say encompass my heart and really to everything I am, everything I like to share, and be able to express myself in this way. It's been an eye-opening experience. It's been godsend, I would say. I feel that it's something that I can express myself, let go of some of the frustrations every day. We all have frustrations, and be able to really just get into this microphone and this camera for those that are watching in YouTube, and being able to express to the camera and to the microphone how I feel about certain things. And it's been good. Something that I definitely would say I recommend to anyone to do. If you're really thinking about something to do that you would like to express yourself, but you don't know how to do it, try the podcast. Try to express yourself that way. Definitely, it's a good way to really pretty much get that energy going, and moving all that bad energy to live your life, and really the good energy to come in, and the good things, and be able to express yourself. Because I think the world is full of ideas. We are full of ideas. That's why we love Marvel, Marvel Comics, because it's the house of ideas. We call it the house of ideas. And definitely, I think life is about ideas. And I think every platform, social platform, is a place where you can grow ideas. Your personal ideas can be developed into something beautiful. As a collector, as a person that loves, video games, a person that loves movies, it's all about ideas. We are confronted with ideas on a daily basis, and we share our own ideas to the world, and everything we do is a reflection of those ideas that go through our mind on every day. They are part of our lives, part of our belief system, and we share those ideas. And so today I want to be personal, and I want to share something that I feel from the bottom of my heart to you, and I want to share because I'm excited. There's not really, I would say, a theme that I want to talk about today. There's plenty of themes. We're coming back from the in this case from, the holiday, from Memorial Day weekend, starting pretty much this week. Now, today is Wednesday, and it's the middle of the week. And of course, it's a busy week as usual. And we got a lot of things to worry about and think. So I want to share my life, and I want to share my heart to you. So that way I want to uplift you and make you feel, probably challenge you to pursue your own dreams, and also to pursue your purpose in life. And that's the reason of the title of today. Pretty much in the search of purpose. I think we all are looking for purpose in our lives. I do believe that purpose is an important part of who we are. Everything in life has a purpose. Like this cell phone right here, this iPhone. This iPhone has a purpose. The reason I have this iPhone is because, it serves me that purpose. I use it for, to call, to talk to people, social media. I spend a lot of time in this phone. This computer has a purpose. This camera has a purpose. This microphone has a purpose. These glasses I'm wearing have a purpose. Everything has purpose. We have purpose in life. Now, we come to life not really knowing our purpose. I don't think there's an instruction manual like you go to the store and you get a manual that tells you this is the purpose of this is how you're going to use it. So the reality of human beings, of us beings, is that we have to discover the purpose as we go along, trying to find the reason we are on this earth, and trying to find the reason why we do the things we do. and what is the best course of action of our lives, choosing our lives. And it's something that is challenging for everyone from the moment you are born, trying to find what you like. You like this or you don't like that. Enjoying certain things and not other things. Choosing your path in life, what kind of education you're going to have, what kind of college you're going to go, what kind of education when you're a young adult, the type of work you're going to do, the career you're going to follow, who you're going to, befriend, who you're going to marry, how you're going to raise your kids, which town, which city, are you going to raise your kids, which country. And all of those things are part of our constant battling of ideas, trying to figure it out who we are and our purpose. And where our children grow and they leave the home, trying to figure out what's next, what's the next step in our lives. And that's something that my wife and I were dealing right now. That it's just my wife and I. My daughter, she lives on her own by herself, and trying to figure it out exactly what is the next step in our lives is a challenge. Trying to find the purpose, because we do a lot of things in life not really knowing our purpose. We just do it, we go with the motion of things, and we want to do things, and sometimes we get trapped into those things, and years down the road we realize that perhaps it's not something that really gives us the joy. We were just looking maybe for validation in our lives, and we find ourselves trapped in this situation. How we got to this place, how I got to this job that I hate, how I got to this business that I'm not really satisfied with. I'm just doing it. Maybe I'm successfully financially, but I'm unsuccessful emotionally with this job because it drains my life. It takes away my time. Raising our family, of course, the kids grow, they leave, they follow their own dreams, and you decide what's next. My life was built pretty much in the last 18 years, 20 years, built into helping my kids grow, and now it's just me and my spouse. What's next in our lives? What's the next chapter in our lives? And we're looking for purpose, and the meaning of things. And even when we do certain things, like I can tell you one thing, I started this channel. It's gonna be in November. We're gonna have 7 years. I started the YouTube channel. And when I started the channel, I was very successful financially. I was a manager, I was a boss. I have people under me. I was a traveling manager, a traveling, agent. I was a person that traveled a lot, I constantly travel. I didn't stay home, pretty much travel everywhere. I was making good money. I had good career, good goals. Everything seemed to be cool and dandy, but inside I was feeling like dying every day. Like, my life was all about the money, the mighty dollar, trying to make more money. And I was always away from the family, always away from my wife, always away from my daughter. And I felt that I was purposeless. And that's why I started my YouTube channel. And actually my first videos, the first videos that I created, I edited in a hotel room. To be honest, I have my laptop, and I just put some videos. I create some music, music that I really like to listen. I put the music and make the video on my laptop on a hotel room, both videos. And my first statue review, that was my first really review that I did, or my first couple of reviews, I did it from my office in pretty much out of town, in a different town, in a different city, on a break, And, sometimes when I was, collecting statues, I will have to order statues and ask them for them to deliver it to the different offices that I was part of, because that was the only way that I was able to get them. I didn't want to just send them home. First of all, my wife would be kind of freaked out at getting all these boxes, all the time, because I was getting a lot of stuff. And but I wanted to see them first, before anything. And I was traveling around with boxes on my car, and coming home and bringing my boxes and my stuff and put in my collection. So that was a different time. I was, pretty much almost 7 years ago. But it was so, I felt empty. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, and we went through challenges during those years in my marriage, challenges that forced me to really kind of see things and look for better opportunities or jobs where I was able to stay home. And of course that meant a pay cut, a big pay cut, but I decided to take that leap of faith, and I did it, and I was dissatisfied with my career. I was within the same field, so I changed the field into some different things, and I was experimenting with my life, trying to find a place. And of course, until last year, when I decided just to quit my job and do what I'm doing right now through my YouTube channel and my podcast, and pretty much that's what I'm doing right now, pretty much living on savings, on my wife's income. And it's been tough. I'm not going to tell you that it's been easy. It's been hard, because, like I always mention, I always ask people for, to donate, because that's the way I can continue growing this channel and, to pursue better, better content. And I don't really have anybody, I don't have no one. I always mention it, but I don't have anyone giving any money. I only have one patron, which I enjoy and I love, and I thank very much, because he's been a patron for a couple of months. He always, with his donation, he's helping me, but he's the only person that is doing it. Nobody else is doing it. And I'm not saying this to make anybody feel bad about it or demand money from anyone. Although it would be great if you donate and you help me out. It really will build this channel and my podcast even more. I will be able to share more content, to travel more perhaps, and go into conventions, things like that, where I can really, share this stuff. Because right now, of course, as I pretty much doing this, I live pretty much, by my means. I'm trying to live under those means that I have, and of course my savings. I'm trying to pay the bills, trying to make sure everything is the mortgage, everything is on time. That means that there's some sacrifices that need to be made in other areas, probably less traveling, less eating out, and really trying to build this up with the hope, after 7 months, particularly with this podcast, that things will work out. And that's my faith, that's my trust. Even lately I've been feeling like that I need to go and get another job, maybe perhaps going back to to work full time. I've been considering the facts, because it's hard. Yeah, we have what we can do, but there's some limitations on what we can do here at home. And of course, it's just my wife and I. But definitely there is, some, things that I can do. People ask me, can you review this? Can you review that? And some of those things I do not have. And in order for me to review, it means that I have to have support, financial support to do it. I don't want this podcast to be about money. And that's not the reason I'm sharing this today. But it's about purpose. Purpose means that you have to sometimes make a sacrifice. And in order to pursue your dreams. In order to do what you feel you must. We all have purpose. And our purpose is part of the legacy that we're going to leave behind. And this is something that I've been talking and considering, my wife and I, now that we come into our second honeymoon, technically. In our lives, we were like in the beginning, now it's just her and I, and trying to figure out what's next in our lives, what to do with our lives, and what is the purpose. There's so many considerations that I have, many dreams that I had when I was younger, many things that we have discussed, things that I would love to do. Not only with this podcast, not only with social media, but I would like to go to work with more nonprofit organizations. I would like perhaps to travel the world, do missionary field, not only just, go in other parts of the world, because as I'm a Christian, preaching the gospel, perhaps teaching, in other places, but also helping people in other parts of the world where they don't have enough, children that don't have, parents, and they're in this orphanage in the world, they need support, building homes, things like that, places in the world, I experiment, and I've been thinking about all these things that we could be useful. And this is the part where I want to tell you about this today, and definitely go into the meat and potatoes of today's podcast. Purpose sometimes means sacrifice, and that sacrifice means that you have to make decisions, of what's best, not only for you, for those around you, and about the legacy that you're going to leave behind. Every day is a gift. Every day is something that is given to us, and we don't know if we're going to have tomorrow. And as every day comes, we have to take it and give it the best we got. And what's more important is how you're going to be remembered. And that's the meaning of legacy. How you are going to be remembered. Are you going to be remembered as a grumpy person that all care about was the work, all he cared was about his personal collection of things, his material stuff? Or are you going to be remembered as a person that built something for other people to enjoy? And this is something that I always consider in everything I do. Even when I'm collecting things, and, right now I'm not collecting as much because, of course, there's no money for that, right now. But every time I collect the statues, my point was always to trying to build something for others to enjoy. In this case right now, for my daughter to enjoy, even though she was never really too much into the statue stuff. But my nephew, for him to enjoy those pieces, to take him to the movies, watch all these movies, all the geeky stuff. I'm the one that plays video games with him. I teach him about video games. He loves video games. And take him to the park, take him to places, spend time with him. For him, I never, I I didn't have the blessing of having a son or, you know, another child. I only have one. And I don't know if the future will give me another child. You never know. God only knows. But the thing is this, you know, to enjoy the time, you know, and not to be grumpy about the things that probably didn't work out or things that didn't work. You know, yes, I was at the top of my game in my career until I said, you know what, this is not enough to fulfill my heart, to make me feel better about myself, to give me purpose, because my job was technically, you know, it was about money. It's a cutthroat business. It was a dog-eat-dog world. It was all about making profit. It was all about making money. I was good at it. I was good at making money. I was good at making business and keeping my employer, in this case my boss, you know, very happy. But I was very dissatisfied, and I felt that I was stepping on people's, you know, lives in order to make that money, because I was working for in finances and lending and collections and doing all kind of stuff, you know, dealing with people in bankruptcy, doing all kind of stuff. I was making money, but I felt, you know, filthy, you know, as the way I was doing it. Not saying that there's a bad business, not saying that you can do it that way, but the company I was working for was really cutthroat, and it was expected for you to get all that stuff done. And because I've been doing it for so many years, you know, you kind of go in the mode of it. You learn to kind of follow that path, and you become that. You know, and that's the part where I feel that I was becoming something that I was never meant to be. And I never felt that I was me, that I always felt like I was a stranger, like you're trying to fit the wrong piece in the jigsaw, and you're that wrong piece and it's not fitting no matter how you try it. And I felt that that was necessary in my life for change. And that's when I created my channel. I went into a different thing and route in my career, and of course it meant some sacrifices, and still means some sacrifices. That's the reason I left the job that I was working recently and I was very happy with, but at the time I felt that I was not going anywhere, and I decided to dedicate my time to do this, what I really love to do, and really to build this as a way to leave a legacy behind. I go back and watch every video. And I enjoy when people leave comments, you know, when people, they say, oh, you know, you helped me to do this. You helped me when I wanted to do that. You got me into statue collecting. You got me into omnibus collecting. You know, I don't have this big following. I don't have so many people like other people in this channels. And sometimes it's easy for you to compare yourself with people. You try to say, why is it that the person is doing so many videos? I'm a person that when the quality is even not as good in comparison to the quality that I'm trying to put it here. I'm not trying to praise myself, saying that I have the best quality in the world with my content, but you know, you compare, you know, it takes me hours to really come up with all this work. It can take me all day to edit a video or a podcast to make it just the way I want it to be. It's not perfect, it's not 100% that I want the way I want it, but it's closer to my vision. And putting it out there only for a handful of people to watch it, or leaving a like if they leave a like, and even leaving a comment, and or listening. But I get so, you know, when I feel down, and I'll go back and I see the people, and sometimes I want to quit, throw the towel, say, you know what, I'm done with this, you know, I'm not going anywhere. But then there's a time when I see people, you know, come into social media, like on Facebook page, or they go to Twitter and they say, I'm watching or I'm listening to your podcast. You know, thank you. You're one of the ones that I enjoy. I love your content because you speak from your heart. You know, it comes from the bottom of it. And definitely I feel it, you know, and I enjoy it. It's not superficial. Everybody's talking about superficial stuff. And that's something that I really enjoy. And that's the part of what it really pumps me. That's the part where it really makes me feel better about what I'm doing, and reminds me of my goals, which is to leave a legacy, for people to go back and watch these videos. You know, I have people, they still comment in videos like the Spider-Man Omnibus, or, you know, the Watchmen. Those are videos, people leave in comments, videos that were done like 5-6 years ago, and they leave in comments and they surprise me, and they talking to me like it was done yesterday, like, you know, like they disagree with my opinion. And sometimes that opinion that I had 6 years ago, I don't agree with it anymore. I move on from that opinion, but, you know, I share it then. But it's amazing that people, you know, are going back, and that's the power of YouTube. That's the power of social media. That's the power of this. You know, you leave a legacy for people to follow and have this conversation that are timeless. You know, we can have conversations about a lot of things, and people are still here. And this is the power of social media. This is the power of the internet. And I feel that this is a place where I enjoy to be, you know, that I enjoy greatly. And I feel that I'm sharing my life, you know, and sometimes that means that you have to be vulnerable. Because you have to share who you are to a lot of people. And of course, that might make things too sometimes awkward for me or for others. But there's no other place that I'd rather be, you know, than being able to share my life. Yes, there are moments that I feel lonely. moments that I feel that there's, I feel depressed, particularly when things don't work the way I want them to work. When you put so much work into a video and, you only have 5 people watching or 10 people watching or 15 people. And sometimes people don't even leave comments. And it's really, it can depress you, make you feel like you're worthless, that your work is not doing. You're talking about a time, I come from an environment where it was all about achievements, where your money, what you get paid, your job security depends so much on producing. So of course, when you come from that mindset into what you're doing here, when you're seeing that you're not producing, or at least the work you're doing is not producing what you want them to do, to produce, or the intended target, then it can be demoralizing at times and make you feel like you just want to quit, throw the towel, give up, and go back to what you know best. But life is, every challenge, every mountain needs to be conquered. Life is, nothing is said about quitters. Quitters never make it. They don't leave a legacy behind. Enjoy what you're doing in life. Like I'm trying to enjoy this, Yes, there are challenges. There are financial challenges. There are emotional challenges. There are physical challenges. Trying to figure out exactly what is the purpose of my channel. But this is why I always, as a Christian, as a person that believes in God, I come to God and I ask God, guide me through this process. Help me so I can do the right thing. Not just to do things on my own. Not just to do things to please myself. But to do things that are not only good for me, but also for the people that love me, for my wife, for my daughter, for my friends. So they also feel encouraged every day. And for every person, every one of you that listens to the podcast every day, that watches my videos every day, to feel empowered, to feel uplifted, maybe in the middle of a challenge. Maybe you're going through family challenges. Spouse challenges with your kids, challenges, economical challenges, challenges at work, you don't feel like you belong, you feel mistreated, challenges with your health, perhaps you're dealing with some type of emotional trauma, whatever is happening in your life, that you can come here and you can find that refuge through my words, that I'm here to uplift you with whatever your challenge is. Maybe you feel rejected, maybe you feel lonely, that, you're not alone in this world. There's people like you, like me, that are living this life, and that definitely they go through challenges like everyone, like all of us. We all go through different challenges. That doesn't mean that we're going through the end of the road, or we are at the end of our pretty much of our rope, and that we're coming to a dead end. Sometimes dead ends also means that there's a place where we can rest and we can gain strength to go back and retake the road, and then take the right road. So it's something that we need to consider. So once again, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for every supporter of this channel and podcast. Thank you. You support me by watching, by liking, whether you have the means to give or not. I appreciate that you take the time to leave those comments and to be supportive, and to follow me and listen to the podcast, and to like the podcast, and to share with your friends through your social media. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the conversation. I know right now maybe things might not look as good for me in the sense of what's happening, financially, because I'm not making any money. It's been 7 months since I've been making any really money, and through this, advertisements, through the channel, it's just not that great. But I'm glad that I'm doing something that is in my heart, and I believe that sometimes, hope, sometimes the victories, crossing that mountain. And I know we'll cross that mountain, but it requires patience. And sometimes challenges are like that. Sometimes you have to go through deserts to get to your final destination, to places. But in the middle of that travel through the desert, there are always oases in life where we can feel empowered. And I have oases. I have moments where I find myself ready to give up, but I would say God always kind of lifts me and keeps me on the right track. And your friendship does, and your encouraging words, and for you to be able to be there for me, and your likes and everything, it really encouraged me to keep on going. So once again, I want to say God bless you. I wish you the best of week. Thank you for staying with me throughout this chapter. We started a new chapter, now we're going into the hundreds, 101 next time. So we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to enjoy life, and definitely we're going to have fun with this podcast and with my channel and with my videos. So once again, God bless. Take care, my friends, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.